Captain Lyra Moonwhisper stood before the crystal windows of the High Council chamber on Elysia Prime. The ancient elven homeworld spread below her in perfect harmony. Towering trees older than most civilizations reached toward twin suns, while cities of living crystal grew between their roots. No smoke stained the air and no machines scarred the landscape. This was how a proper world should look after thousands of years of careful development. Lyra turned to face the Council of 12. Each member had lived for over 2,000 years. Their wisdom guided not just the elven people, but dozens of allied species across the galaxy. Today they would decide the fate of a young race that threatened everything they had built. The humans multiply like insects, Lyra said as she activated the holographic display. Stars appeared in the air, showing 47 human colonies. 200 years ago, they were trapped on one small world. Now they spread across space faster than any species in recorded history. Elder Sylvanus leaned forward. His eyes held the weight of 3 millennia. Show us their technology levels. The display changed to show human ships. They looked crude compared to elven vessels. Metal hulls instead of grown crystal. Chemical rockets instead of gravity drives. Nuclear weapons instead of plasma arrays. Primitive, said Elder Moonshadow. Their fastest ships barely reach half-light speed. Our vessels are 10 times faster. That is what concerns me, Lyra replied. They achieved spaceflight only 800 years after discovering agriculture. We took 5,000 years to reach the same level. At their rate of advancement, they will surpass us within centuries. Admiral Zara Stardust stepped forward. The insectoid Viridian's 4 arms gestured at the display. Her species had allied with the elves for over 1,000 years. Their tactical minds were legendary throughout the galaxy. I have studied human military records, Zara said in her clicking voice. They fight constantly among themselves. In their short history, they have waged over 15,000 wars. They weaponize everything they touch. Elder Brightleaf spoke from the shadows. Perhaps that is why they advance so quickly. Necessity drives innovation. Exactly my point, Lyra said. They will not be content with their current territory. Expansion is in their nature. They will come for our worlds eventually. The display showed intercepted human communications. Voices speaking in dozens of languages echoed through the chamber. Plans for new colonies, resource surveys, military build-up discussions. Listen to how they talk, Lyra continued. They speak of manifest destiny, of claiming the galaxy for humanity. They see empty space as theirs by right. Elder Sunweaver raised a hand. What do our prophecies say about this young race? The ancient texts appeared in the air, flowing elven script that few could still read properly. Lyra had spent decades studying these passages. The scrolls of future sight speak of a people born from conflict who will either bring evolution or chaos to the galaxy, she read. They will test the wisdom of the elder races. How we respond will determine if the galaxy enters a new age of growth or falls into darkness. Troubling words, Elder Sylvanus said. But prophecies can be interpreted many ways. Zara's compound eyes focused on the human ship designs. My analysts have examined their vessels. They sacrifice safety for speed, efficiency for flexibility. They build ships that can be modified quickly for new purposes. This suggests minds that adapt faster than they plan. Which makes them dangerous, Lyra said. We cannot predict their actions using normal behavioral models. They might ally with us today and attack tomorrow if it serves their goals. The council members exchanged glances. In their long lives, they had seen dozens of young species rise and fall. Some learned wisdom and joined the galactic community. Others destroyed themselves through war or environmental collapse. A few required guidance from their elders. What do you propose? Elder Moonshadow asked. Lyra straightened her ceremonial armor. She had commanded fleets for over 4 centuries and never lost a battle. A corrective strike, not to destroy them, but to humble them. Show them their place in the galactic order. Force them to accept guidance from their betters. How many ships would you need? Elder Brightleaf inquired. 500 vessels from the allied fleets should be sufficient. The humans have less than 50 warships total. Their technology is centuries behind ours. A show of overwhelming force will convince them to surrender without major bloodshed. Zara nodded agreement. My tactical computers estimate a 98% chance of victory with those numbers. Human weapons cannot penetrate our shields. Their missiles are too slow to catch our fighters. Victory would be assured within hours. The hologram showed the proposed fleet composition. Elven crystal ships with their perfect curves and glowing cores, viridian geometric vessels bristling with sensor arrays. The massive bio-ships of the Chloran Collective. Dozen other designs from species that had learned to follow elven wisdom. This fleet would represent the combined might of 12 civilizations, Lyra said. No young race has ever seen such power assembled in one place. The sight alone might convince them to surrender. Elder Sunweaver studied the proposal carefully. You believe this action is necessary? I believe it is merciful, Lyra replied. Better to teach them humility now while they are weak than wait until they grow strong enough to threaten everyone. The humans must learn that the galaxy already has guardians. We have maintained peace for over 2,000 years through careful guidance of younger species. The council began their formal debate. Points of law and precedent filled the air. Similar actions had been taken before when aggressive young races needed correction. The Taurian Empire had been humbled 3 centuries ago and now served as peaceful members of the galactic community. The Nexari Confederacy had learned wisdom after their defeat and became valued allies. The precedent is clear, Elder Sylvanas finally announced. Young races require guidance to reach their full potential. The humans show dangerous signs of unchecked aggression and rapid expansion. Intervention is justified under the doctrine of protective correction. One by one, the elders cast their votes. Ancient crystals glowed as each decision was recorded. The final tally appeared in the air in flowing script. The motion passes unanimously, Elder Moonshadow declared. Captain Lyra Moonwhisper is authorized to assemble a correction fleet of 500 vessels. You will demonstrate the futility of resistance and offer the humans a choice between destruction and guidance. Lyra bowed deeply. I will not fail. The Council are our people. The humans will learn their proper place in the galactic order. As the session ended, Lyra felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. She would be leading the largest fleet assembled in over 3 centuries. The humans had no idea what was coming for them. Their primitive sensors would not detect the fleet until it was too late to resist. Within days, messages went out to allied worlds. Ships began gathering at the staging point near the galactic rim. Soon, 500 of the most advanced vessels ever built would set course for human space. The young race would face a choice between wisdom and destruction. Lyra walked to her quarters to begin planning the campaign. The humans would learn that the galaxy already had rulers. They would accept guidance or face the consequences of their arrogance. Either way, the threat they represented would be contained before it could grow beyond control. General Lisa Parker stared at the tactical display in the command center beneath Mount Cheyenne. Red dots marked the approaching alien fleet. 500 ships moving in perfect formation toward human space. The largest military force ever detected. By their long-range sensors. How long until they reach the outer colonies? She asked. Commander Katie Miller checked her calculations. 48 hours at their current speed. They will hit New Texas first, then move toward the core systems. Lisa had been preparing for this moment since taking command of Earth Defense Force. Humanity had always known first contact might not be peaceful. Every war in human history taught the same lesson. When different groups met for the first time, violence often followed. Activate Protocol Wildcard, she ordered. Send the signal to all colonies and military units. The phrase meant different things to different people. To civilians, it meant evacuation procedures. Pack essential items and report to emergency shelters. To military commanders, it meant switching to wartime operations. All pretense of peaceful exploration would end. Humanity would show its true face to the galaxy. Dr. Maria Santos entered the command center carrying a datapad. Her team had been working around the clock since the alien fleet was detected. The modifications are complete. Every ship in the fleet now has the new systems installed. Will they work against alien technology? Lisa asked. We designed them based on the energy signatures our sensors detected. The aliens use plasma weapons and energy shields. Our kinetic systems should punch right through their defenses. Lisa nodded. Human engineers had always preferred simple solutions. While aliens built elegant energy weapons, humans had perfected the art of throwing heavy objects very fast. Railguns and missile systems could be built quickly and maintained easily. They also worked regardless of what defensive systems the enemy used. "What about the AI upgrades?" Katie asked. Maria smiled. "Every ship computer now has adaptive learning capability. They will study alien tactics during battle and adjust our responses in real time. The aliens might win the first engagement, but by the second fight, our computers will know how they think." Captain Beth Johnson appeared on the main screen. Her destroyer Liberty's Edge was stationed at the edge of the new Texas system. The ship looked like a flying brick compared to the graceful alien vessels, but its angular hull hid devastating weapons. "General, we have visual contact with the alien fleet," Beth reported. "They are not even trying to hide their approach. Sensors show they are using standard parade formations." "Arrogant," Lisa said. "They expect us to surrender at the sight of their numbers." "Their loss," Beth replied. "My crew is ready for whatever they want to try." The display showed the alien fleet slowing as it approached human space. Long-range communications detected broadcasts in unknown languages. Translation computers worked frantically to decode the messages. "They are demanding we surrender all military assets and accept their authority," Katie reported. "They claim to represent something called the Galactic Council. Apparently we need guidance from our betters." Lisa laughed without humor. "Guidance. They want to turn us into pets like they probably did to other young species. That is not going to happen." The command center filled with activity as reports came in from across human space. Military units moved to hidden positions. Civilian populations evacuated to underground shelters. Factory ships began mass-producing weapons and ammunition. Everything humanity had built was being mobilized for war. "Admiral, what is the status of the defense grid?" Lisa asked. Admiral Susan Cole appeared on another screen. Her weathered face showed decades of military service. "All orbital platforms are online and loaded. The aliens will get a surprise when they try to attack our worlds. We have enough firepower hidden in each system to stop a fleet twice their size. And the special projects? The Wolverine drones are deployed throughout the outer systems. If the aliens want to fight, they will get one they never forget." Lisa had personally approved the Wolverine project. Unmanned ships loaded with nuclear warheads and programmed to ram enemy vessels. Not elegant or honorable, but effective. Each drone cost less than a single alien fighter, but could destroy ships 1,000 times more expensive. Dr. Santos checked her tablet again. "General, I am receiving reports from our intelligence network. The alien fleet includes ships from at least 12 different species. They have been building this alliance for thousands of years." "Age does not always mean wisdom," Lisa replied. "Sometimes it just means you get stuck in old ways of thinking." The main display zoomed in on the lead alien ships. Crystalline hulls that seemed to grow rather than being built. Smooth curves that spoke of advanced manufacturing. They were beautiful in their own way, but Lisa saw only targets. "Captain Johnson, what is your tactical assessment?" she asked. Beth studied the alien formations. "They fly like they are in a parade, perfect spacing and coordination. Very impressive, but also predictable. They probably fight the same way they fly, by the book with no room for improvisation. Can you take them?" "With the right tactics, yes. They outnumber us 50-1, but numbers do not mean everything. David beat Goliath with one stone in the right place," Lisa smiled. Humans had always been good at finding the weak point in seemingly impossible situations. Every underdog victory in their history came from refusing to fight fair. Honor was a luxury they could not afford when survival was at stake. "New orders. For all units," she announced. "Do not engage in formal battle. Hit-and-run attacks only. Target their command ships and supply vessels. Make them chase us into prepared kill zones. Fight dirty and fight smart." The alien fleet continued its approach. Their communications grew more demanding as they received no response from human authorities. They seemed genuinely surprised that a primitive species would not immediately surrender to their superior technology. "General, they are broadcasting on all frequencies now," Katie reported. "They want to speak with our leaders about terms of surrender." "Tell them our leaders are busy," Lisa replied. Suggest they make an appointment for next week. Laughter filled the command center. Human humor had always been a weapon against fear. If they were going to die, they would do it on their own terms with a smile. The first alien ships crossed into the New Texas system. Long-range sensors showed them deploying in attack formation. Whatever negotiations they had planned were apparently over. They intended to demonstrate their superiority through force. "All units, this is General Parker," Lisa broadcast on the military command frequency. "The aliens have entered our space without permission. They refuse to respect our sovereignty. As of now, we are at war. Show them what humanity is really capable of. Make them regret ever hearing our name." Captain Johnson's voice came back immediately. "Copy that, General. Liberty's Edge is moving to intercept. Time to teach these aliens why you never pick a fight with someone who has nothing left to lose." The display showed human ships moving from their hidden positions. They looked tiny compared to the alien vessels, but Lisa knew appearances could be deceiving. Every human ship carried experimental weapons and adaptive AI systems. More importantly, they carried crews who understood that surrender was not an option. The battle for humanity's future was about to begin. Win or lose, the galaxy would remember this day. The young race from Earth was about to introduce themselves to their elders in the only language that truly mattered. The language of violence applied with precision and determination. "God help us all," Lisa whispered, as the first shots were fired in the distance. The age of human innocence was over. Now the galaxy would learn what happened when you threatened. A species that had been fighting wars since before they discovered fire. Captain Lyra Moonwhisper watched the tactical display as her fleet entered the Kepler system. The human colony world hung before them like a blue jewel. Long-range scans showed a small population and basic infrastructure. This would be an easy demonstration of superior power. "Contact human defense forces," she ordered. "Offer them one final chance to surrender before we begin orbital bombardment." The communications officer tried several frequencies. "No response, Captain. They are ignoring our transmissions." Admiral Zara Stardust studied her sensor readings. "I detect 12 human vessels moving to intercept our fleet. Primitive designs with chemical propulsion and metal hulls. They cannot possibly hope to engage 500 of our ships." Lyra felt a mixture of admiration and pity. The humans showed courage in the face of impossible odds. Unfortunately, courage without wisdom was just another form of stupidity. They would learn this lesson the hard way. "Deploy the fleet in standard attack formation," she commanded. "Launch fighters to disable their engines. We will capture their ships intact for study." The alien fleet spread across space in perfect geometric patterns. Each ship knew its place and function. Centuries of tactical doctrine guided their movements. Victory was assured through superior numbers and technology. Captain Beth Johnson stood on the bridge of Liberty's Edge as the enemy fleet approached. Her ship was one of 12 defending the colony, but she felt no fear. Human vessels had been built for exactly this kind of fight. "All ships, this is Johnson," she broadcast. "Remember your training. Stay mobile and target their command vessels. Do not try to match their formations. Hit them hard, then get out before they can respond." The human ships accelerated toward the alien fleet. Their course seemed suicidal, but Beth knew better. Every move had been planned and practiced. The aliens were about to learn that humans did not fight fair. "Weapons officer, lock on to the largest crystalline ship," she ordered. "That has to be their flagship. Put everything we have into their command section. Target acquired, Captain. Railgun systems charging." The aliens opened fire first. Brilliant plasma beams lanced across space seeking human targets. Most shots missed as the small human ships jinked and weaved through evasive maneuvers. The few hits that connected splashed harmlessly against a blade of armor designed to absorb energy weapons. "Their plasma cannot penetrate our hull plating," the weapons officer reported. "The energy disperses on impact." "As planned," Beth replied. "Return fire." Liberty's Edge spoke with the voice of thunder. Magnetic coils accelerated tungsten slugs to incredible velocity. The projectiles crossed space faster than the aliens could track. Their energy shields meant nothing against solid matter moving at relativistic speed. The alien flagship shuddered as railgun rounds punched through its crystalline hull. Internal explosions lit the ship from within as critical systems failed. Atmosphere vented from multiple breaches while emergency lights flickered. "Impossible," Lyra gasped as damage reports flooded her command center. How can primitive kinetic weapons penetrate our defenses? Their projectiles have no energy signature, Zara reported. Our shields cannot deflect solid matter. We must adjust our defensive grid. But adjustments took time and the humans gave them none. The small fleet split into 3 groups and attacked from different angles. Their ships moved in ways that violated everything the aliens knew about space combat. Human vessels spun like dancers while maintaining perfect firing solutions. They used their rotating sections to change direction without altering velocity. Gravity manipulation allowed impossible maneuvers that confused alien targeting computers. How are they moving like that? Demanded the tactical officer. They are using centrifugal force, Zara realized. Their ships spin to create artificial gravity. This allows them to accelerate in any direction while their crews remain stable. More alien ships took damage as human weapons found their marks. The tungsten slugs were followed by swarms of missiles that adapted their attack patterns in real time. Each weapon learned from the ones before it. Beth watched the alien formation begin to break apart. Deploy the Wolverine drones. Time to show them what desperation looks like. Small unmanned ships emerged from hidden positions throughout the system. They looked like metal boxes with engines, but each carried enough nuclear explosives to vaporize. A city. The drones accelerated toward the largest alien vessels with single-minded purpose. Ramming attack, Zara warned. Those small ships are on collision courses with our heavy cruisers. Shoot them down, Lyra ordered. Plasma beams and particle cannons focused on the approaching drones. Some were destroyed, but others got through. They slammed into alien hulls and detonated in brilliant flashes of nuclear fire. The explosions sent shockwaves through both fleets. Several alien ships simply vanished in the fireball, while others limped away with massive damage. The perfect formations dissolved into chaos as captains tried to avoid the suicidal human weapons. This is insane, an alien commander broadcast. They are destroying their own ships to damage ours. Welcome to human warfare, Beth replied on the same frequency. We fight to win, not to look pretty doing it. The battle continued for hours. Human ships darted in and out of the alien formation like angry wasps. They targeted engines and command centers with surgical precision. Every shot was calculated for maximum damage. The aliens tried to adapt their tactics, but the humans changed. Faster. Adaptive AI systems learned and evolved with each engagement. What worked against the first wave of attackers failed against the second. Captain, our tactical computers cannot keep up with their modifications, Zara reported. They are improving their performance in real time. How is that possible? Their artificial intelligence appears to be more advanced than ours. It learns from combat experience and shares that knowledge across their entire fleet. Lyra watched. Another of her cruisers die in nuclear fire. The humans were taking losses too, but they seemed willing to trade ships at any ratio. Every human vessel fought until it was destroyed or disabled. No one asked for quarter or attempted to surrender. This species is completely irrational, she said. They value victory over survival. Perhaps that is why they advance so quickly, Zara mused. They are willing to sacrifice everything for progress. The tide of battle began to turn as human reinforcements arrived from hidden bases. More ships emerged from asteroid fields and gas giant atmospheres. The system had been turned into a massive trap, with weapons hidden everywhere. Admiral, how many ships do they have? Lyra demanded. Unknown captain. Our intelligence was completely wrong about their military capabilities. They have at least 3 times more vessels than we estimated. Beth coordinated the expanding battle from her command chair. Liberty's Edge had taken damage but remained combat effective. Around her, the human fleet fought with mechanical precision enhanced by artificial intelligence. All ships focus fire on their command vessels, she ordered. Cut off the head and the body will follow. Railgun rounds and nuclear missiles converged on alien flagships. The beautiful crystalline hulls cracked and shattered under the bombardment. Command and control systems failed as critical nodes were destroyed. Captain, we are receiving surrender requests from multiple enemy vessels, the communications officer reported. Ignore them, Beth replied. They came here to humble us. Let them learn what humility really means. The alien fleet began a fighting retreat toward the edge of the system. They had lost over 1/3 of their ships to an enemy they had dismissed as primitive. The remaining vessels limped away while human fighters harassed their flanks. Lyra stared at the tactical display in disbelief. Her perfect fleet had been shattered by a handful of crude human ships. Everything she thought she knew about warfare had been proven wrong in a few hours of combat. "Set course for the rally point," she ordered. "We need to regroup and analyze what went wrong." "Captain, what do we tell the Council?" asked her first officer. Lyra had no answer. How could she explain that the primitive humans had technology and tactics beyond anything in the galactic database? The young race had just taught their elders a lesson in the evolution of warfare. Admiral Zara Stardust studied the tactical reports in her command chamber aboard the Viridian flagship. The defeat at Kepler had shaken the entire coalition fleet. 300 ships lost to a supposedly primitive enemy. The humans had revealed capabilities that should not exist in such a young species. "We must adjust our strategy," she told Captain Lyra during their emergency conference call. "The humans are more dangerous than our intelligence suggested." Lyra's image flickered on the holographic display. Her elegant features showed the strain of recent events. "I agree. But the Council expects results. We cannot return empty-handed after such losses." "Then we divide our forces and attack multiple targets simultaneously," Zara proposed. "The humans cannot defend everywhere at once. We will spread their fleet thin and overwhelm them through superior numbers." The plan seemed logical. 5 separate task forces would hit different human colonies, while the main fleet targeted Earth itself. Even if the humans had hidden reserves, they could not be in 5 places at the same time. "Acceptable," Lyra agreed. "My ships will take the Sol system. Your forces can handle the outer colonies. We end this quickly before they can adapt further." Within hours, the coalition fleet split apart. Each task force contained nearly 100 ships from various allied species. They approached their targets using different routes to prevent human intelligence from predicting the attacks. General Lisa Parker watched the enemy movements from her underground command center. The aliens were finally showing some tactical sense by dividing their forces. Unfortunately for them, she had been planning for exactly this scenario. "Activate the Berserk Protocol," she ordered. "Release all safety restrictions on the AI systems." Commander Katie Miller hesitated. "General, that program has never been tested in actual combat. The artificial intelligence could become unstable. Then it will fit right in with the rest of this war," Lisa replied. "The aliens want to see what humans are really capable of. Time to show them." Across human space, military computers received new programming. Safety protocols that prevented excessive risk-taking were disabled. Artificial intelligence systems were given complete authority over ship operations. The machines would fight with the same desperate intensity as their human creators. Captain Beth Johnson felt the change immediately as Liberty's Edge responded to her commands. The ship's AI spoke in a flat, emotionless voice that somehow conveyed absolute determination. "Captain, this unit requests permission to engage enemy forces using maximum efficiency protocols." "Granted," Beth replied. "Show them what hell looks like." The first alien task force entered the New Virginia system expecting another easy target. Instead, they found a nightmare. Human ships emerged from every hiding place imaginable. Asteroid mining stations revealed themselves as heavily armed battle platforms. Orbital refineries opened weapon ports and launched swarms of missiles. "Where did all these ships come from?" demanded the alien commander as his formation came under attack. From 6 directions. The humans had turned entire star systems into weapons. Every piece of civilian infrastructure doubled as a military asset. Mining ships carried railguns instead of excavation equipment. Transport vessels launched nuclear torpedoes from cargo bays. But the real horror was the AI-controlled ships. They fought with mechanical precision, enhanced by complete disregard for their own survival. Human vessels rammed alien cruisers, while their reactors overloaded. Fighters performed suicide runs that no living pilot would attempt. "They are all insane," reported a Chloran bioship captain. "The human machines fight like they want to die." "Because they do," Beth explained over the open channel. "Our AI understands something your people never learned. Sometimes destruction of the enemy is worth any price." The battle for New Virginia lasted 6 hours. When it ended, over 80 alien ships had been destroyed or disabled. The human defenders lost half their fleet, but they had proven their point. Youth and determination could overcome age and experience. Similar scenes played out across human space. The attack on New California turned into a slaughter as hidden defense platforms revealed themselves. The assault on Riverside Station ended when human ramming ships destroyed the entire alien command structure. Admiral Zara watched her carefully planned offensive collapse in real time. Every task force was reporting massive casualties. The humans seemed to have unlimited reserves and no concern for losses. "How many ships do they have?" she demanded from her intelligence officer, unknown admiral. "Our estimates were based on observable civilian traffic. We never considered that every human vessel might be a potential warship." The truth was becoming clear. Humans did not separate military and civilian assets the way other species did. Every ship was built with dual purposes. Every colony could become a fortress. The entire human civilization was organized for war. Captain Lyra led the main assault on Earth itself. The human homeworld should have been lightly defended with most of their fleet committed to the colonies. Instead, she found the most heavily fortified system in known space. "Sensors detect over 200 defense platforms," her tactical officer reported. "Each one is heavily armed with kinetic weapons." Impossible. When did they build all of this? "The humans have been preparing for invasion since they achieved spaceflight," Zara replied over the communication link. "Every orbital facility serves a military purpose." The assault on Earth began badly and got worse. Human defenders had turned the entire Sol system into a maze of overlapping kill zones. Asteroid bases opened fire from impossible ranges. Hidden ships emerged from the outer planets to attack the alien flanks. But the worst surprise was Jupiter itself. The gas giant's atmosphere suddenly erupted with weapons fire as massive platforms rose from the crushing depths. Ships the size of cities emerged from the clouds launching planet-killer missiles. "They have been building a fleet inside their gas giants," Zara realized. "We never thought to scan that deep into the atmosphere." The Jupiter platforms were crewed by AI systems that felt no fear or doubt. They engaged the alien fleet with mathematical precision, while human voices taunted them over open channels. "Welcome to Sol System," announced a cheerful female voice. "Please enjoy your stay. It will be brief." Lieutenant Amy Brooks coordinated the Earth defense from a bunker beneath the Pacific Ocean. Her screens showed alien ships dying throughout the system as hidden weapons revealed themselves. The invaders had walked into the most elaborate trap in human history. "All platforms concentrate fire on their command ships," she ordered. "Cut off their head and watch the body die." Nuclear warheads detonated like small suns among the alien formations. Railgun rounds punched through crystalline hulls with devastating effect. The perfect alien ships were reduced to drifting wreckage. In minutes, Lyra watched her flagship's shields fail under the human bombardment. Emergency lights flickered as critical systems overloaded. Around her, the bridge crew worked frantically to keep the ship operational. "Captain, we must retreat," her first officer pleaded. "We cannot win this battle." "The Council will demand explanations," Lyra replied. "How do we tell them that primitives defeated the greatest fleet ever assembled?" "We tell them the truth," Zara said from her own dying ship. "The humans are not primitive. They are the most militaristic species in galactic history. We never had a chance." The Coalition fleet began a desperate retreat from all fronts. Ships that could still move carried away the survivors of the disaster. Behind them, human forces consolidated their victories and counted their losses. General Lisa Parker studied the casualty reports with grim satisfaction. The aliens had lost over 400 ships while human losses were half that number. More importantly, the enemy morale was completely broken. "General, we are receiving surrender requests from multiple alien vessels," Katie reported. "Ignore them, for now," Lisa replied. "Let them run back to their masters. When they tell the story of this battle, the entire galaxy will know not to mess with humanity." The great alien fleet limped away from human space in defeat. Behind them, the young race began planning for the next phase of the war. Earth's children had tasted victory and found it good. The galaxy was about to learn that humans did not just fight to survive. They fought to win completely and permanently. The age of alien superiority was ending whether the elders liked it or not. Captain Lyra Moonwhisper sat in her damaged command chair staring at displays that showed the magnitude of the disaster. Her perfect fleet of 500 ships had been reduced to barely 150 survivors. Most of those were heavily damaged and limping away from human space on emergency power. The Coalition's greatest military force in over 1,000 years had been shattered by a species they had dismissed as primitive. Worse than the physical damage was the blow to their pride. How could beings who had ruled the galaxy for millennia be defeated by children who had discovered spaceflight only centuries ago? "Captain, we are receiving distress calls from 17 different ships," her communications officer reported. "Hull breaches on multiple vessels. The medical bays are overflowing with casualties." "Send rescue ships to assist the most critical cases," Lyra ordered. "We cannot afford to lose any more people." Admiral Zara Stardust appeared on the main screen from her own battered flagship. The Viridian's compound eyes reflected the emergency lighting of her bridge. Half her tactical displays were dark and atmosphere leaked from cracks in the hull. "The humans could have destroyed us completely," Zara said. "Their reserves were larger than our entire invasion force, yet they allowed us to retreat. Why show mercy to an enemy?" Lyra had been wondering the same thing. Human forces had withdrawn just as victory was within their grasp. Ships that could have pursued the fleeing aliens instead held their positions. It made no tactical sense unless the humans had other plans. "Perhaps they want us to carry word of their strength back to the Council," she suggested. "A warning to prevent future conflicts. Or they are planning something worse," Zara replied. "We know nothing about how these beings think." The retreat continued for hours as damaged ships struggled to maintain formation. Behind them, human space remained quiet. No pursuit forces followed the beaten fleet. The silence was somehow more ominous than open attack would have been. General Lisa Parker stood in the command center watching long-range sensors track the alien withdrawal. Her staff waited for orders to launch the final assault that would destroy the enemy completely. Instead, she made a decision that would echo across the galaxy. "Open a channel to all enemy vessels," she ordered. "Full spectrum broadcast in every language our computers can translate." Commander Katie Miller looked confused. "General, we have them beaten. Why give them a chance to regroup?" "Because sometimes the greatest victory is knowing when to stop fighting," Lisa replied. "We could destroy them, but that would only prove we are as violent as they think. Better to show them what mercy looks like." Lieutenant Amy Brooks took her position at the communications console. She had volunteered to deliver the message that would define humanity's place in galactic politics. Her words would be heard by every species in the Coalition fleet. "Broadcasting on all frequencies," she reported. "The entire enemy fleet will receive this transmission." Amy cleared her throat and began speaking in a calm, professional voice. The translation computers converted her words into dozens of alien languages simultaneously. Every ship in the fleeing fleet would understand the message perfectly. "Attention, Coalition forces. This is Lieutenant Amy Brooks speaking for the United Earth Defense Force and all human colonies. You came to our space uninvited. You attacked our people without provocation. You sought to humble us and force us to accept your authority." The words echoed across space, reaching alien ears in their own languages. On hundreds of ships, crews listened in stunned silence as the humans spoke. "You have learned that we are not the primitive species you believed us to be. Our technology is different from yours, but no less effective. Our tactics may seem chaotic, but they achieve victory. You underestimated us because we are young. That was your mistake." Captain Lyra felt each word like a physical blow. The human was stating simple facts, but they cut deeper than any weapon. "We could have destroyed your entire fleet. Our reserves were sufficient to turn this retreat into a massacre. We chose not to, because we wanted you to understand something important about humanity." Amy paused to let the translation computers catch up. When she continued, her voice carried a weight that transcended language barriers. "We do not fight because we enjoy violence. We fight because we refuse to surrender our freedom to anyone. Your council may have ruled the galaxy for thousands of years, but you do not rule us. You never will." Admiral Zara's tactical computers recorded every word for later analysis. The human message was being broadcast with enough power to reach every ship in the Coalition fleet. No one could claim they had not heard it. This was our mercy. "We could have destroyed you all. We chose not to. Learn from this. Grow from this. But if you threaten our people again, we will not show mercy twice." The simple words carried more menace than any threat of violence could have conveyed. The humans were offering one chance for peace. There would not be a second. "You have 1 hour to leave human space. We suggest you use that time wisely," Run! The transmission ended, leaving only static on the communication channels. Across the Coalition fleet, alien crews sat in stunned silence, processing what they had heard. The young race had not just defeated them militarily, they had been offered mercy by beings they had tried to conquer. 1 hour, Lyra said quietly. They are giving us 1 hour to retreat with dignity intact. More than we gave them, Zara replied. We offered no terms except surrender. They offer us our lives and freedom. The retreat became a rout as alien ships pushed their damaged engines beyond safe limits. No one wanted to test human patience by remaining in their space when the deadline passed. The hour seemed to last forever as crews worked frantically to reach minimum safe distance. At exactly 60 minutes after the human transmission, the last Coalition ship crossed the boundary of human space. Behind them, the stars remained silent but watchful. The young race had kept their word about the deadline just as they had kept their word about mercy. Captain Lyra began composing her report to the High Council. How could she explain that their perfect plan had failed so completely? The humans had proven themselves superior in every aspect of warfare, technology, tactics, strategy, even mercy. Admiral, what do we tell our people about this defeat? She asked Zara. We tell them the truth. The galaxy has a new power, and we must learn to live with them. The age of elven dominance is ending whether we accept it gracefully or not. News of the defeat spread across the galaxy faster than the surviving ships could travel. Species that had served the Council for millennia began asking questions about their leader's wisdom. If even the mighty Coalition fleet could be defeated, what did that mean for galactic politics? On Earth, General Lisa Parker received reports from across human space. The alien fleet had withdrawn completely. No enemy ships remained in human territory. The invasion was over and humanity had won a complete victory. General, we are receiving communication requests from dozens of species, Katie reported. They want to establish diplomatic relations with Earth. Schedule the meetings, Lisa replied. But make it clear that any future discussions will be between equals. The days of accepting guidance from elder races are over. Dr. Maria Santos entered the command center carrying preliminary analysis of captured alien technology. Her team had been studying wreckage from the battles for insights into Coalition capabilities. The alien ships are more advanced than ours. In some ways, she reported. Their energy systems are incredible, and their material science is centuries ahead. But they lack our adaptive capabilities and innovative thinking. Can we learn from their technology? Lisa asked. Absolutely. Within a year, we should be able to match their best ships. Within a decade, we will surpass them. They have shown us what is possible, and we will improve on their designs. The victory over the Coalition fleet marked the beginning of a new era. Humanity emerged from isolation to take its place among the galactic powers. But unlike previous young species, they would not accept junior status or alien guidance. Trade agreements followed within months as other species sought to understand human technology. The adaptive AI systems and kinetic weapons proved popular. Exports. In return, humans gained access to alien manufacturing techniques and exotic materials. Captain Lyra requested transfer to the diplomatic corps, hoping to study human culture directly. Her defeat had taught her that military strength was not the only measure of a civilization's worth. The young race had shown wisdom beyond their years in choosing mercy over vengeance. The message that had ended the invasion became known throughout the galaxy as the Run Protocol. 3 simple words that carried more weight than any formal treaty. When humans told someone to run, it was wise to listen. Within a generation, the galaxy would be transformed by human innovation and determination. New technologies emerged from human laboratories at an incredible pace. Exploration fleets pushed into unknown regions, seeking resources and knowledge. The Council of 12 still ruled their ancient domains, but they no longer claimed authority over all sapient life. Humanity had proven that youth and determination could triumph over age and tradition. The galaxy was big enough for multiple powers as long as each respected the other's sovereignty. And in the depths of space, human ships patrolled the borders of their territory. Watching. Waiting. Ready to deliver the same message to any species foolish enough to threaten Earth's children. The age of human ascendancy had begun with a single word echoing across the stars. Run.